Okay, after many months of waiting, finally a new Berserk chapter. This is chapter 360, and the last chapter we got was in September, so after a very long wait, finally a new Berserk chapter. As far as this chapter goes, I'm not very impressed with it, honestly. I expected a lot of things that are shown here to maybe be done a bit more like in detail, but nevertheless it's always great to get more Berserk, and I'll go more in detail what I like and what I didn't like in this chapter. First of all, my favorite part of this chapter is the beginning, where we see Casca basically handling the whole eclipse and PTSD, how aftermath of her last like this mind break basically when he saw Guts. And I really loved how she turned out in this new art style, because Miura's new art style is a lot more like less dark, a lot more friendly, especially when they're in Elfheim. And I think that sometimes he lost a bit of his horror, like kind of dark imagery. But in Casca's face, I really like how he handled it in this art style. Like this, simply like you see her just moments before she breaks again, and I love her face. It's great stuff, and I like that we got a more clear understanding of how her case works. Like basically, when she starts to remember, that's when she breaks. Like, and we'll see how much she remembers of the actual eclipse. It is very nice to see Farnese like basically becoming this beacon of hope for Casca. Like Farnese at this point, like I'm just impressed how far she went in this like her character development. Next we see a bunch of magic stuff that I was very disappointed that was in this chapter. Like obviously they had to add it in the story at some point, but after this long wait it's very disappointing to see this, like exactly this at this point. What I like, yeah, obviously that Fernie's new outfit is very interesting. I like that it shows that Shirke and Fernies are kind of on a different level than other magic students because of their experience in the outside world, and that's something that I really enjoy and actually makes sense. Like they had a lot of like this contact with actual like scary part of the whole magic thing. What I didn't like, obviously, in this Miura is kind of like too much of this in his latest chapters. These parts of when like five people are talking about in the same time how they're impressed or how they don't like something, and they're like, "Oh, so pretty! It's huge! Wow, so impressive!" It happens a lot when the gods does something great, and the whole his group is like, "Wow!" And I really don't like it. The character that I'm kind of interesting is Morda. She's like just hanging on this tree and just commenting here and there, and I kind of it's kind of strange and funny in the same time. Like the Serpico just hiding behind the tree, he's very visible. Like he's not it's just strange but kind of funny at the same time. The part of the chapter that I really hope that we got more from with Guts, his like with his sword on this cliff, thinking about all this that happened. And the two things I don't like actually are Guts' face in this art style. For some reason he looks very childish, like he's a lot younger here to me. Like you don't see this roughness of his previous versions, like he saw a lot of bad things, and here he simply looks too young for me. And I'm very disappointed that they didn't see his like psychological reaction to the, after all this like hard work and trying to get to the Alchem, Casca won't be able to see him. I would like if we got more of his reaction, his thoughts, maybe talking with some part of his group. But that's how it is. I'm kind of disappointed because of that. And finally we get this shot of Skull Knight finally appearing after world transformation. Interesting, he looks kind of like he has eyebrows for some reason, like his eyes are just like, feel sorry for Guts in this panel, although like it's a skull, like he can't have expression really. But it raises a question what they will do now. I think the same thing as the most people, that now he will ask Guts to go out in the outside world, help him fight the God Hand. And I'm kind of like expecting maybe Guts to accept this. I'm like more on that side. I don't want him to, but I don't think that Skull Knight will just come here to say like, hello, you don't want to accept my offer and go back. So yeah, this is about this chapter. I think it's fine. I am much more interested for the next chapter, but nevertheless, it's always great to have more Berserk, and I hope that Miura, like every freaking time, that he'll just have a bit more release, but who knows. I hope you like this. See you next time. Bye.